Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we have to talk summoning. You should wait until Friday to pull, including if you're pulling for Sun Wukong, because there is that lovely thing called pity swapping. Or well, so we call it. Yeah, so there is the great banner of Ryzen and Yuri on the same day as Sun Wukong. So this doesn't start until Friday, but if you want to take advantage and get the most amount of gold, the most amount of legendaries for the same amount of summons as possible, pity swapping is a smart thing to do. So what this basically means is looking at the different banners related to the same pool of summons. So we're going to be talking our rare summoning crystals and our diamonds. So this is just one of those times where waiting to summon until Friday, if you are going to summon, especially for Sun Wukong, is a good decision because this banner is so good and absolutely worth pity swapping for. Now, if this banner was terrible, and you just wanted to go all in and get as many copies of him as possible, which still can do with pity swapping, to be fair, you could argue that maybe you wouldn't do it because you just don't even want to waste the risk of getting someone you don't need. But this banner is awesome, unless you have a maxed out Yuri and for some reason don't care about getting this great new hero here. Yeah, I think you should. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see him be intertwined into some new teams. And yeah, it's a great weekend to summon. Now, I also could see if you have an A5 Sun Wukong, you might not summon at all, at least on this banner. So waiting to Friday is a big duh. But if you don't have an A5 Sun Wukong, or if you're like me and you have a bunch of soul stones into him, and you want to maybe summon and try to get some of those back, then it's also a good time to summon. So let's take a look. I'm just going to talk pity swapping on the, like, should you summon this weekend? Yes, but you should wait until Friday is the short answer. And then what I would say is you do your pity swapping technique with these two banners here. And then if you don't get the one you want to get from here, like let's say you pull Yuri, you already have her, cool, but you still don't have a Rise on, then yes, I would absolutely summon your Divine Summons here. He's really good. Totally worth trying to at least get a copy of. You don't need to go crazy for Awakenings. It sounds like he's still pretty good even without Awakenings. And then the other short answer on should you summon regarding the banners here. Should you summon if you don't have a Carnelian and you do care about PvP, especially Guild War? Yeah. Also, Carnelian is really good in the new content for the Matrix, Zerberus, Titanic Ruins boss content, so that's not so bad. Also, Rygar is certainly making his way into teams for a lot of the boss content as well. Rygar or Torador. Rygar can give some better damage potential. It just depends on if you're going to be using Torador as a tank anyway, and then you might as well just use Torador as the Lord, as both roles. Or if you're going to use like Rygar plus Brokir in the new content, for example, it's also possible. And I think with this guy coming out with boss content, and he'll be great for, you might see a rise of Rygar actually coming into play even more than he was before. But the difference with this banner, I would say, based on what I looked at looking through the top scores before I started recording this video, is I don't feel like he's as necessary as some of the other lords in the game right now. If you have Torador, there's some cases where you need a Torador a little bit more than you might need a Rygar. And that alone makes it seem like, well, then why don't I just use Torador? But you can increase your damage potential for your team overall if you can survive using Rygar as a tank in given content, or if you need a better tank like Brokir, and then Rygar alongside of him like we were talking about, or a Draylin and then a Rygar are in the same team for the new content, that might make more sense instead of using Torador as the tank. But I feel like because it's kind of even keel looking across the board with Some people use Rygar, some people use Torador, some people use Rygar, some people use Torador. I really don't think there's strong enough need for him to have to summon this weekend if you want to summon for the sake of the Lord. If you are still looking for more key lords in the game, well, I think this fellow right here is one to wait for. I think when it comes to the others, like, oh, I don't know, let's see, Nastia, the other one I don't have, she might be worth waiting for. Unfortunately, they were somewhat soon-ish. Like, but I feel like they did Iovar dirty, and he was last on, with another lord at the same time, Torador. So that was a really strange thing, and I hope they bring him back in a different manner. But anyway, yeah, I really feel like those lords are just better. Or if you don't have a Valderon yet, it might be more interesting to try to get Valderon or Gon even. Even Gon now with the new content, Gon is a top tier option if you have a strong faction of chaotic heroes, especially like with Scythera and Carnelian and Ardea, Libu. Yeah, you kind of want a Gon for that team as well. And of course, we have Praetus and Ingrid. Ingrid is also a top tier lord option in a lot of content. So if you really are still hunting for those big tier lords, I feel like he's just a slight tier below. So maybe still save your summons and don't pull just yet. Unless you need Carnelian as well, then pull and try to get both, or maybe get that Carnelian and stop if you don't hit your Lord Pity. Okay, now the should you summon bulk is over, and I hope the TLDR of the pity swapping need made sense for just the suggestion to do it. But now what does that really mean? That's what I want to end this part of the video with. So again, rare summoning crystals and diamonds, right? So it will be 2 banners with that. One will be for the guaranteed limited hero when you hit 200, and one will be for the 20 times boosted rates for Ryzon and Yuri. So what will happen is, depending on how you summon last, so this depends on your own account. If your very last hero you pulled was a legendary, let's say you're at 0 for pity, you just literally pulled a legendary last. Then what you can do on the, let's pretend this is the, let's go back to the banners to talk about it that way. You're on the Sun Wukong banner. You pull until you hit 170 if you're at 0, or say 180 if you're at 0. But if you're even one more into that pity, stop when you hit 170. Be safe. Then you switch to the other banner. This banner right here. You pull until you hit a legendary. You could even do single pulls if you need to, if you want to be careful, and as very bare minimum summons used as possible. So there you go, right? You hit a pity, then you switch back to this banner here and continue your pulls. If you stopped at 170, you only have 30 more pulls to guarantee your Sun Wukong. So this is assuming you got 0 legendaries throughout that whole process. You had the worst luck possible, you're just hitting 1 single pity. So within 200 pulls, you got 1 hero here, and you got a Sun Wukong for the same cost of 1 hero for 180 to 200 summons instead, right? So only a little bit more summons to guarantee 2 heroes, 100% guarantee. That's what pity swapping is all about, guaranteeing the amount of heroes you get from a more minimal pool of summons. Now, what if you're summoning on the Sun Wukong banner and you get a legendary early? Can you still pity swap? Absolutely. It just might look a little different. So let's say you get 1 or 2 along the way, and it's not Sun Wukong, you still have that guarantee waiting. You pull on this banner until you hit 199. Pull single pulls, 9. Then, wherever you were, come back here. Pull until you hit a legendary. Then at least you know when you're hitting that guaranteed pity hit, boom, you reset your pity, aw darn. You come back over here, you use 1 single summon, get your Sun Wukong, and he'll feel almost free, right? It'll be like getting a back-to-back legendary. Because the idea is just, if you pull 200 here, you get Sun Wukong. Or if you accidentally hit a pity early at like, okay, a 180 or 190, you pull Sun Wukong. then that was just wasted to be able to get another hero. You could then switch to this banner, pull 180 to 200 more to get one more hero. So this could take you like up to 400 summons to do the same thing that it could take you on only 200 summons, right? Or just over 200, maybe 210, depending on where you had to stop. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's very, very smart to just be resourceful and get the most amount of summon or legendaries for the summons used. And even if you want to go for multiple copies of Sun Wukong, you still can pull as many as you can here, stop before you hit a legendary, or go all the way to 199, switch here, get any legendary, even if it's not the one you want, and then swap back, and then go all in and pull on Sun Wukong until you get as many copies of as you can, if that's what you're trying to do. But if you just want to get one copy of Sun Wukong because it's guaranteed, and then you're going to just sit back and, or maybe you only need one more to get an A5 or an A3 and you want to stop there, well, then you can just come over here to this banner and pull until you get Ryzen, if that's what you're hoping for. You know, there's options. And that's where pity swapping is really, really, really helpful to be smart with your resources. And yeah, if you have bad luck here, like I mentioned, and you really want a Ryzen and you don't get him, or you really want a Yuri and you don't have her, just come to the Divines, use your Divines this week. I think it's a great week to use your Divines. And Yuri is amazing. She also comes with the bond skill with Kagiri. So she makes Kagiri even better as well. So if you kind of want both, right? You always want the bond pairs. If you want her at least in your roster, obtaining the hero will unlock a special effect. So you've got to get that bond pair as well. But yeah, that is all for this video now, guys. Sorry I'm super behind on content. I am also hoping to put out a video doing my first fun playthrough of the zombie invasion. I'm going to check out the new version of the content, see how it feels with my honest first impression and reactions. Does it feel like it took forever and was a bit of a drag? Like last time I was like, okay, this is cool, but that took really freaking long, and I don't know if I want to always take that long. Or does the ability to pause and come back alleviate that? Or does it feel like it's a great pace and I want to keep playing because it's fun? I don't know. We will find out. And also, I am away for the weekend, so if I can on Thursday, tomorrow, I will try my best to record my first run, my first attempts with the new boss content, because I don't believe I will have a chance to do it, the Matrix one. I don't think I'll have a chance to do that before it's going to reset. Like, if I do this on Sunday, I'm just going to throw some people in on full auto and just let it go and just get something if I can even possibly get a bottom chest. That'll be what I might have to do if I run out of time. But I'm hoping I can get people geared. It's just a matter of taking the time to get people geared, which has been my struggle. And today with Fateless, which is my full-time job and my focus, I did have to do some extra work as I was about to start working on my video recordings, so I'm a little bit behind for everything today, content-wise. So I'm not trying to be a slacker, but I will be, again, away for the weekend. And yeah, I'll probably try to share some of my little extended weekend vacation. We're going to some hot springs, relaxation at a nice hotel, getting Lily into the pool as well. And it should be a fun little mini vacation weekend. But I will have to also post my summons late as well. We will do our summons probably on Monday. Yeah, if we go through the 20th, then that is what we'll do. I will do my summons on Sunday. If I get back early enough, probably not. But more than likely, my summons will be on Monday. So summons will come. I am summoning, just not quite yet. All right, that's all for now, for real, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.